coming from a family of entrepreneurs, right? You've had that experience growing up. You've seen your parents' business. You've seen how they've been able to run it, how to make a successful business, or to an extent, because we're just a child then. You've not really implemented everything you've seen.
Yeah.
So, what will you say is a business that made you struggle? Like being a business, like which of them did you struggle with the most? That's really stressed you, and why?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, the one that really, the business that did not survive is, I had a barber shop. Familiar, right? And that was, I had that one when I was still doing my 9 to 5. I started at 9 to 5. So I opened the shop, and I opened the shop, I put somebody there. And, I put the people there. I invested in it, bought all the equipment and everything, and, we had different arrangements. I had this problem. The barbers that were competent, they don't have integrity. That one will see your money. The one that has integrity is not competent. He and the customer are always fighting. They're always throwing that. Why do you do my hair like this? So, to add that issue of the competent guys they do appreciate, they will steal more money, they will have, steal money and all those. So after a year, I had to close it down because I realized that, the guys that were cool enough, that were level-headed to want to do the job, they didn't have enough competence to do it. And the ones that are very, very good and smart that people want to work with, they are stealing my money. And I had little supervision because I was still working 9 to 5, right? So that business I had to close down after 1 year. So I would say that was the only business that died so far. Another business I've struggled with, I made a tweet this morning on Twitter that I was complaining about sales or real estate, that people have come for me and all of those things. That I don't care much. I'm used to it. But I will also say that real estate, convincing somebody to part with 200 million, 300 million is not easy, right? So when you started, you are selling houses, 25 million, I think 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, right? And at that time, people can easily part with that. But when you move to the stage of selling the house for 150 million, 200, 300 million, my brother, my sister, saliva, I use saliva, I don't talk tire. So, so anybody that wants to buy, real estate is not pay. That you just, somebody will just make a decision on the spot and buy, or tomato, or even phone that can make a decision and buy 1.5 million, say 800,000, say 1.5 million. Somebody that wants to spend 150 million, 200 million, 170 million on a house, you need to work for it too. You need to give it to convince them that you need a lot of it. So, thankfully, because of my influence online, most of the sales of my company actually come from me. Sometimes when I tweet people, and we have carried myself, try to engage with everybody, try to talk, so they're able to build some form of trust. Most of my customers come from online. So that's how. So I would say, that barber shop was one that failed. My only reason that failed. And the real estate, it's up and down. It's up and down. Convincing people to pay 200 million. So it's not easy.
So from what you said about the barber shop, it's like there was dishonesty amongst the competent people.
Yeah.
I'm sure that maybe even with your businesses that are going well right now, you must have come across dishonesty.
Yeah.
So how do you handle it now with your businesses?
You need to be. I blew hot. I use carrot and stick.
Okay.
Stick. And then with carrots, I make sure that I'm very friendly with my staff. I make that we joke, we play. I'm very open to them. I'm pleased with them. As much as possible. I try to compensate them where I can compensate them. I assure them that if you start, be doing better, you guys all of what are going to be like. I try to see them as my brothers and sisters and all of those things. So that's compensate them, you care for them, show care for them, and all of those things. And so that's the carrot. Yeah. The thing is, my brother, I will see my money. The police will settle above. The police will settle above. I don't want to say my compensate village. So I blow out sometimes that, guys, if anybody sees something, if anybody sees something for my business or does connect with a contractor or a vendor inflate contract, I've started a lot of people, I've started like 4 or 5 people, I've started even people that are my family members, still people from my family members that I employed, I've started my extended family members, I've started people from, because, one of them inflated the service charge on the property, So you needed to also be fair when you need to be fair. I also tried to reward them and not do things, but I was firm when I needed to firm. I was soft when I needed soft. So I did a combination of that manage that. But people still steal from you. That's not busy. No matter how
Can't be so careful.
you can't be too careful. People still steal from you, but it is what it is. I mean, you put as many controls as possible, but you can't be 100% cause some of those things. You have to work around them.
So when you're trying to make decisions, like for your business, yourself, and it doesn't really, the road is not clear, like you don't really have clarity on what to do, how do you actually then make your decision and then make the right decision?
I stick with my two set of people, my team, internal team. So the leadership, I call the leadership meeting and we talk, I present my case to them that this is what do you guys think? So I seek feedback, I seek input of the leadership of my team, in Abuja, some of them even know the market more than I do. They have my Abuja manager, I have my Lagos GM. So I try to, pick on the brain of my leadership team, so that I can hear the angles, and so that helps me making decisions. There are external people I also consult, people who have been in business before me, who know more. I might not paint the picture because of maybe confidentiality. I might not be able to paint the full picture to them, but I create the scenario. How did you solve this? How did you manage this? And all of those things. So all those kind of things. So I seek some people who are more experienced than I, who have been in the business more than I have been. I pick their brain, I seek their inputs, and of course the leadership of my team too.
Okay, that's a very good one. I think that's understandable because as humans, we cannot really know everything.
Exactly.
And always seeking external advice sometimes just paint a clearer picture for what as people. So this is now out of the box. Your name is Suraj Oyewale. So Oyewale, I'm so sorry, Oyewale. So how did Sir Jarus come about?
Okay, I mean, interestingly, Suraj is my name. And that's Suraj, if you spell it back for
Years.
I want to restart in 2008, December. So I done Ireland. I'm sure you guys know Ireland.
Very good with dates.
They're very good with it. I'm very good with it. I don't. I'm very good with it. I mean, I think that one of the things I caught, with from my childhood. So in 2008 December, I joined Ireland. Therefore, you guys know Ireland. That popular football in 2007 July when I was serving in Sokoto from a cyber cafe. So I was contributing. My name was Ife Iko 06. Ife. No, I just finished from Ife a year before, and I was spinning on top of the wall. So I was carrying it on my head. Exactly. I registered on that Ife economics. But I realized that didn't have much. That didn't have much. It was too big. Exactly. So a year and a half after, I decided to. I now sent an email to the owner of that website that I should change my username to. I gave him two options: Jarus, which is my name spelled my coach, or Zurich. Zurich was the nickname I was giving my family members when I was in secondary school. And sent that email to him, the owner of Netherlands. Me and him are falling out now. And, I sent that email to him in 2008 December that I should pick either change my name, username of that forum to either Jarus or Zurich. He not chose Jarus. That's why my name became, my username changed to Jarus. And people now started, so I now became, my opinions were usually sitting well with people. People were like my opinion. I was so more popular. Exactly. So people now need me. Some people now start to it now. Some people like, Nigerian now. You say, now I just start to it. And that was how I picked that. And I started using that name. So I now adopted the name from that phone. I adopted and everything. My brand. And I built my brand around it and all of that.
That's when it's like
I need my business, my registration, everything. It now became Jarus. So that's how I started.
Okay, that's a very good one. But what's the team with Naira? Why did you follow us?
I mean, I think he's a great guy. I mean, he's very smart, extremely smart. He's a nerd, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's brilliant and creative. But I think there was some sort of rivalry between us. Where he had a platform. I was one of the best contributors, one of the most popular contributors to that platform. And so when I left, I started my own platform called Jarus Hub in 2013. 2013, like 5 years, 6 years after I was in Ireland. And I felt I wasn't contributing to Ireland. I wasn't, imagine one of the best contributors that makes your website, living.
So to make his own platform.
To make his own platform, exactly. So I think he didn't receive that very well. And I guess that was it. So we still interacted, informally. We had each other's WhatsApp, we chatted occasionally and all of that. And I mean, I guess that's where the whole genesis of the whole thing came out with. And also feel like, I was also becoming that time I started from Ireland. I'm now sort of competing with like it was one that took big name, and what I even told you one name that for me. I saw the name tag for me. Imagine somebody chose the name for. So I was now building my own brand. I was becoming popular online and all of those. I guess, that somebody felt, threatened or insecure by my, by my rise, using this platform, all of that. And I mean, I'm not sure. And we had some, I get that with genesis of the whole fall and all that, but it's okay. I mean,
Both of
it's
them.
what it is. Life continued. I acknowledge Land as very, very important to my rise on social media, and I will never see anything bad about Land. The owner,
I think one time
I even put it in my book. I was one of the things that shaped me. So I have a lot of respect for that platform. I made my name on that platform, so I have a lot of respect for it. But I mean, if somebody, the owner, feels that, you are different, then I don't think you can do anything to that.
Yeah, I think when I was making some research about investment banks, I think I saw.
I have to
Yeah, I think I saw the Sir Jarus, a very long time ago.
I mean, I read that in 2009, some 16 years ago. A lot of things a lot of things I wrote on Ireland, people have benefited from them. Every organization I go to, Jarus, thank God, thank you. What you wrote on Ireland was there for my job. But
Because once you make a search,
I mean, so it's always coming. It's I have a lot of. I mean, that would say, if you the calabash, even I'm not so active there again, there's a university that says that if a calabash designer, stops designing calabash, the calabashes he has designed remain evergreen. So those content I've written over those years, I mean, people are still benefiting from them, and I'm happy that I've been able to play some part in, sharing knowledge that people find life changing. Like they also said, the source one change by searching online.
yes. So how do you balance honesty with your responsibility on social media, since that is your main platform?
Yeah. I mean, when you say honesty, like, I mean, what's there to balance? Isn't honesty also like, I mean, maybe
Well, some opinions are honest for facts. Honest but very controversial. That
Built on honesty.
maybe so
If they don't trust you,
exactly.
they'll give it 200 million for a house.
Exactly.
So how do you make people really trust you?
So I mean, so one thing I'm not infallible. I mean, I'm not perfect, and I have to acknowledge that I'm also a woman. And but you also have to acknowledge that I try as much as possible to be fair to people as much as I can. And it's just my nature. I mean, I try as much as possible to be fair to people as much as I can. And I'm generally someone that is, I'm a people's person. Like I'm always, I'm the guy that would, try to solve your problem for you if I can. Like will share everything I know. I talk about it, and I guess because of that, it's created enemy for me. People that feel that this guy is doing too much and all of those, and also created some sort of fans, some sort of people that like me and that oppose me. So I just try to be at myself as much as possible. Sometimes when I say some things, they go controversial, people, don't agree with them and all of this, but I've learned to just ignore and learn that not everybody will see it the way from your own lens.
But they always have their own opinion.
Exactly. So it is what it is. You can't blame them for it. Yours is, that this decision you are taking, this opinion you are taking, and is it well thought out? Also I'm convinced then I'm not sure there is anything.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not immune for mistakes, but I mean, it's what it is.
have you ever faced backlash for an honest opinion, and how did you handle it?
Yes, 2023 election, I felt, I mean, it was clear to me that APC was going to win the election. Yeah, I mean, I said it online, people felt,
You'll have been very popular for that.
I'm not a politician, but politics was one of the topics that I had early interest in, I had an interest. I don't like politics myself, just participating, but I like discussing it. I like, in fact, when I was much younger, I was very, very vocal in politics. So, writing articles. In fact, there's something I said I had in Sokoto State, my NYC. It was because of at night school. I criticized the state governor, and the governor sent for me, and the NYC gave me extension. So, I was that kind of guy that was always following the news, staying my things, and all of those things. So, some of those things are not popular. I thought I've gone into a lot of problems, but I'm still here today. So it is what it is.
It has shaped you so you are.
That also shaped. I also pick something like that.
So your career and your entrepreneurship life, do you have a personal failure that has really shaped you, or that has forced you to reassess who you are, your person, your being?
Yeah. I think the way I exited Savannah Energy, if I had my way, I mean, I should have maybe done a little bit better. Like I said earlier, I had, I had issue with someone that was much senior than me. I was indirectly reporting to, not my boss. My direct boss was a fantastic in London, head of group head of tax for the, for the group. But I had had somebody in Nigeria that was, we were not getting along. She was my senior, we were not getting along. And toward the end of my, I agreed, we had a shouting match in our office one of the years.
My voice is loud.
At that, my voice is loud.
We know who won.
At that, I had a shouting match in our office, and so I went back to my seat and I angrily just said my resignation letter, and so I gave a 3 months notice, because I knew that if I was going to still collect money anyway, based on the company policy. So toward the end of my exit, on the day of my exit, some people somewhere did not want to, they didn't want to approve my exit pay. I said, don't bring my being a while, don't bring this one. So I changed it. I had a very, I was a little bit not proud of it, but I wasn't in my best, behavior on that day, so so it wasn't something that. So that, I mean, if I had, I probably could have been a little bit more thoughtful in that situation. But maybe that was what I still got that money. Still paid me the money. Maybe if I hadn't been a little bit that, of course, we still came back to the after I we still came back to the we still went back to the negotiation table, discussed it, and as my brother represented me, the company represented, the other representation, and they discussed it, and I was paid, the money eventually. But maybe there would have been some other ways to to undo the whole matter without having to resort to some sort of I mean, I don't know the word to use now. I'm on camera, so exactly some shouting match and all of that. But I mean, so that's one thing. That's one thing I felt I could have handled better in business. Is there anything I could have handled better in business? I can't for now. I can't. I mean, I'm still learning. So maybe
with time.
Yeah.
So that fallout you had at Savannah and regretting it after some time, you think you have put any system in place to become a better person? So like if something like that happen in future, you know how to handle it better.
I think I'm now a little bit more less spontaneous. I mean, I'm less spontaneous, and I sleep over things. And people that have done much better than I am, people that are people I look forward to. There was a time I was having a Twitter space with Mr. Babs Omotowa, former MD of NLNG, recently, and he said something in that space that he had a boss when he was in the UK. When he was in the UK, he was in Shell Aberdeen in UK, in Scotland, in the early part of his career, in the mid part of his career. He was having that kind of warning issues with his boss. He had a boss that didn't like him, that was always, like they were not getting along. And he wanted to angrily resign. Because of that. That got to. He just, spoke with his wife. His wife told him that, are you working for the company or working for your boss? Is it because of that you are in this company, or because of the company? People will go, company will go.
Yes.
So he just said he not changed his mind, and that managed that boss. And the boss left. Guess what? That man, and he ended up, he rose through the car to become MD of LNG and global VP in Shell. Imagine if I had resigned at the middle side of the just because of somebody who would give me a problem. So that was a big experience for me, that maybe in that situation too, yes, I'm happy, I'm okay as a businessman, my business is doing well, but maybe if I had been able to, make things have turned out well for me, right? But maybe if I had, instead of having a shouting match and angry, slept over it, and maybe things would have been a little bit managed better. So that was something that I picked from that, and I hopefully my subsequent engagement and with people.
I think generally as humans, as we grow older, our environment shapes us and it teaches us how to be better people.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So speaking of being better people, let's talk a bit about your relationships, your values. Now have your relationships changed, because of your success?
I mean, I'm a little bit careful to say I'm successful, because I'm just the guy you can find anywhere. I mean, you can find me driving, riding, okay, jumping on keke the next thing. So don't be surprised. I thought this guy I'm watching on YouTube, I thought he's talking about working in oil company, only making billion in profit. I saw in revenue. Why is it John B. Keke? No, so I mean, please, I'm that guy on the guy that I can fit into anywhere. So, so I think yes, in recent times, I've become very, very popular.
Yeah.
Because I'm popular, I limit where I go. Virtually every time I go, everywhere I go, I meet people every day. There's any day, any city, almost any city in this country, I'm always meeting people I know. So that has restricted me a little. And also my relationship with people. Some people think because now I have a lot of things I'm also doing, business and all of those things. So people think because maybe they think that because I don't check for them, I'm proud, I'm arrogant, all of those things. So some people interpret, so any simple mistake I make or anything, people simply interpret that he's not a big boy now, get our time again. So some of my friends think that way. Some have adapted to, this guy, we know his playground is online, right? This one journey, all of us will be playing online.
Yeah.
So some of my friends, like Nuruddin, credit to him, he was my friend from university. We do banter on Twitter and all of that. So some of them have adapted to the easiest way you guys can continue our relationship now is just to be having batters online. But some people expect them to call them, have a no call and all of those things. And I'm poor at that. I work on it, but I'm poor at that. So it led to some gap between me and some of the people I've known, in my younger years. In my years, I was still a little bit, So I see those kind of things. Yeah.
So how about making friends now? Because someone told me one thing, says the more successful you become, the higher up you go, friendships become a bit more transactional in terms of tete-a-tetes, quid pro quo, scratch my back, scratch your back.
Yeah.
So in that kind of situation, how do you know, or how can you gauge the honesty of the people you meet that want to become your friend?
I think it's most people come for you because of transaction. A transactional motive. And I have to acknowledge that, to be honest with you, I treat almost everybody, I have that assumption about almost everybody, to be honest with you. But I've seen some genuine interest. I've seen some people that I had a problem. I don't want to discuss that problem there, but I had some problem, and some people I thought, were friends with me. Some people had helped, I had helped in the past. Some people had, when they had their own problem, I had made effort to solve their own problem for them. They were stamping on me online, everywhere. It was trying to, this guy is done. Let's stamp on him. Let's pour fuel to the fire, all of those things. And I saw that. So the true friendship. Yeah, I saw that. These guys that appeared to be for you. To be instead of coming private, just come and discuss with you. Yeah, they saw an opportunity to stamp on you, and they charge of it, thinking you are done. Thank God I came back much better as a person. But but because I give them, if I have to dine with them, I have to dine with it. They have to sit there, I have to sit there. The food will be in the middle. I use my spoon for it. So that's also testing. So, but I saw some genuine well-wishers too. So that's adversity also made me to some genuine well-wishers too. So at the same time, my default mode now is to just believe everybody is just transactional, and so I assume everybody is transactional, but along the line, I see some motive, especially in period of adversity when people show that true color. I see the people that are, that are maybe genuine or something, but I don't only assume that everybody is just transactional.
Yeah, I like what you said when you said, the people that, showed you who they are.
Yeah.
Because normally people will go, okay, man, you showed me who you are, I'm going to cut you off. But you said, oh no, you down on the love phone.
Yeah.
So you don't cut them off entirely. You just learn how to.
Some are cut off, to be honest, some I cut off, some I give distance, some I just, I like it's too short for me to be dwelling on the people who, if people can make their choices of what they want to do. So I don't think I want to dwell on what anybody is thinking about me or has done to me. I have more important things to do with my life and, more things to attend to.
So what is one thing that people don't know about Mr. Suraj or one thing about Mr. Suraj that is very different from Sir Jarus?
I think people don't know about me, people don't know about me that that is the Jarus they know. Because I'm an open book, most things about me, I must have studied there before, and so they have a kind of idea of who they are. I think one thing about me is maybe people don't know is that I think I can fit into anywhere. So people always have this impression of me because maybe they see a picture of me with minister, or they see a picture of me with vice president, or they see a picture of me with somebody like I'm that kind of person that to even access, to even like they see me as big, but I'm not. If my driver is not around here and I'm going back to work, I won't mind, taking a keke from here to, to the junction and just, so if you see me that situation, so people see me as a big person, but I don't think I don't know. I don't want to call it humility because I have some also in that an element of ego, which I also acknowledge. But I don't know how I would describe it, but I think I'm not as big as people think I am. But that's what it's kind
I thought you tweeted it, was it today or yesterday, where someone said that you were like, the big man. Okay. So, what do you want to be remembered for?
I think I have a legacy. I think to the large extent, I've been able to, see that legacy already. And that is the guy that selflessly works, to the, for the improvement of the, life of other people. And I think I've been able to achieve that already. If I die today, I know that, some may not acknowledge it. But I think the impact of the people I've been able to build, without, I won't say build, but contribute to building, because everybody, whatever I've done might have. There's hardly any large organization you go to today. I've never met you before this podcast, but you said you are searching something online, you saw something I put about investment banking. I get that everywhere I go. What I've done, I'm one of the earliest users of the internet in terms of sharing knowledge and those things. I have footprint everywhere. There are people who have benefited from those things I say, practically everywhere I go. Like I just met you today and you told me that, something about investment banking, you saw it. Everywhere I go, I get that kind of feedback. And I'm happy that, my children will come in, when I leave this world, my children will come and they will enter a room and say, you are the son of Jarus, and they will tell them that your father, the interview, my interview to get this job, I'm now a GM in a bank, I'm now a GM in another company, but 30 years ago, 25 years ago, when I wanted to join this company, it was your tips given by your father that made me to get this job. It was the cover letter your daddy discussed. I am now a GM in NNPC. It was the tips your dad gave me that made me to enter NNPC 25 years ago. I see that in not already, but I believe that legacy is what I'm most proud of.
Wow, that's heavy. So, it sounds like you're already achieving like your legacy.
I think I have most of what, I'm modest. I don't have much, I just want to be able to, feed my family, do a lot for my family, because it's very important, because, I'm also, do my family, do for the people around me, people that also supported me, and that's enough. And maybe some small, some decent thing to leave for my children. Most of the things, I come from a part of Yoruba land where the measure of success, our parents, when we grew up, the measure of success are usually a couple of maybe 4 or 5 things. Your parents, may God make you to build a house, to buy a car. I'm a Muslim, to go for Hajj, and maybe to have children. And by God's grace, I've ticked all of those. I have houses, I have, I've gone to Hajj, I've traveled abroad, I've been to almost 30 countries. I've done to, so most of the things, basic things to consider achievement, I think I've personally been able to achieve it as a young man. So most of them before 40. If I sign out today, I think I've have something to be able to be proud of, that God has been very, very merciful to me.
Okay. So now I have to ask. So say I want to leave, kind of legacy you've left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had to design a blueprint for me to do that, what are the non-negotiables? What are the things that I must do?
I'm not a motivational speaker, so coach said I'm just an experienced sharer. I just share my own experience. So my experience doesn't what work might not work for another person. But generally in life, I think in life, having a goal, having something, like I told you that as a 10-year-old, I was looking to.
You had the vision.
I had a vision. I had a banker that I was looking for. I want to be like this man. And even though I didn't end up being a banker, but I said, but that made me to, study hard. Exactly. Something that's I was exactly that possible. So always have somebody that you want to model, you want to look up to. That is only helpful. And I don't be too hard on yourself. Then do everything you can to make life easy for yourself. Okay. study hard. If you are, your crafts, your trade, do it as much as possible, and support people as much as you can, because your own adversity to people also, come for you. Some people come for you when, when some of these things, because life is, is a cycle. There are times which you have things good, there are times in which you have things not too good. So, I mean, look forward to people that are much, learn from them and all of those things. Then, study hard if you're a student. If you're working, work hard. Be perfect in your, in your skill, in your trade, whatever you're doing. Do it very well, and ultimately, I believe that we have to pray as well, because sometimes people do all of these things, are testing these things still don't work out the way they expect it to work out. So hopefully, the God that is higher than all of us is able to, make naturally. Most times results follow efforts. It's what you put in that you get, right? Or in some cases, things don't always work to you. That things work out that way too. I mean, that's the advice I can give you as a blueprint. I mean, yeah, ultimately, things will work for you too.
All right. So let's talk about some hard truths, right? Yes, again.
So, what's one truth about making money in Nigeria that people don't know? That you say, okay, this is actually a very good skill, but people are not just aware about it.
Like, people are not aware about it, but I think you need to, unfortunately, I think Nigeria to reach a certain level. I've not reached that level, but to reach a certain level,
You like being very humble.
to reach a certain level, you need to be brutal. You say that truth now. You want that. You know, you want that.
Yeah, so I've heard that before.
For your $10, Dangote, those guys, they like in Nigeria to reach a certain level. You need to be that single person, probably the right word or something. That's what you need to like. You need to do some very hard shit, like, to be old guy. So you need to. I'm not there, but you need to reach certain level. But if you don't want to reach that kind of level, and it's still within your level, the hard truth is that, you need to. Network is also important. Everybody knows that, so I won't call it, it's an open secret. Who it's also very go beyond. So you need to network. You need to have, people in various places that can make things work for you. Otherwise, your skills might not be enough for you.
So, how should people network? Because everybody says, like I said, it's an open secret. Everybody knows networking, but most people are doing it well.
I mean, to be honest, networking is not the only, it comes easily for some people. It doesn't come easily for some people. But if you have a person of value, most times, value attracts value, right? Attracts people. So, people tend to want to naturally associate with you if you have to. So if you are good at your trade, okay, and when you meet people, you treat them kindly, you treat them well, you're above them, they're above you, you give them some respect, and all of those things. You don't disturb them too much. For example, you meet somebody that is, bigger than you, more economically successful than you. Next time you are asking for Gen 2K, you're saying that, I mean, those kind of things were not good. But, present yourself as somebody of value to, somebody that even though they want to chat with, they want to talk to.
Yeah.
This are the kind of thing that you can use to network. I have the whole book on networking. I can send you guys in a PDF copy. It's a whole lot of topic that if I pass on,
Please will collect from me today.
don't worry. Yeah, I wrote a book on networking. I can share it with you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what is one decision you say change everything that just changed everything for you?
Yeah, nice. I think this thing that changed everything for me. I mean, I mentioned 2 or 3. That decision to make that call to Brother Akim, that I wanted to go and study. I wanted to study finance and Unilag, and decided to go and study economics in UAU instead, was a very, very critical thing that happened to me in my life. So it turned me back to it's subject I loved most, economics. Also, attending UAU was another game changer for me in my life. Spiritually, socially, academically, everything. I learned a lot in that school. So, so that decision to go to UAU and study economics was a major thing that happened in my life. I don't think I would have gotten that kind of, I mean, God knows that probably would have happened there, but I think that decision was very, very critical to where I am today. One. Number 2, the decision to write, to apply to 790 in 2000. So, Ando, I was more junior in Ando, like I said, 2008, 2010, 11. When I saw that advert in newspaper, we were looking, say what I did was looking for it. They didn't even stay the course. So, KPMG I was looking for them. KPMG said they were good for an oil and gas company, job stream, with asset in that bomb state. They were looking for tax accountant. So, that's, I saw the adverts and I went to my colleague, TJ. TJ, bro, I think I qualified for all of this. I met all these criteria. I'll make an apply now. I took that decision and I applied and I got that job. That job changed my life. That job was, I moved salary. My salary was almost doubled and I was getting, the kind of thing which I wasn't getting in Wandu. I was getting it much faster and, I became a little bit stable economically and, it was that decision to pick that newspaper that day. And apply for that job was, I think it's also something that changed my life.
So I'll also ask you one question now, because you made reference to being in Orlando, a very big company, and not getting as much notice and visibility, then go to 7 Energy. But most young people today, they want to just work in that big company. They want that big name because they feel, okay, having that big name is what is the real deal. But they will not really get the experience they want.
Yeah.
So in your own judgment, working for a very big company and working for a smaller company where you have more work and more
responsibilities.
Yeah, more responsibilities compared to what you have. What do you think is actually best for a young person, a young professional?
I mean, I think there's no right and wrong answer to it. I will look at, let me take it pros and cons. Okay. For large organizations, they have more stability. I could have gone to that 7 Niger I went to, the economy could have collapsed in 1 or 2 years. And I'll probably be out of the market. The chance of Wando collapse was, was very, very little. So that's the downside I'm not telling you. Yes, so I joined the company. I just started 3, 4 years earlier and I was just building. One major mistake or economic situation could have led the company, I would have, regretted it. I'm saying all this thing because it worked out, right? So some people join some independent company, call them independent oil and gas, some independent oil and gas companies that did not survive after a few years, after the economic, some of them did not survive. So that's the downside for small organizations. They have their own standards now too. That stability. For example, people that joined Money Point when they started as a small organization that grew with them, they are doing well today. But imagine if many startups did not even survive.
Yeah, they didn't see the light on.
They just like after 1 year they collapse. Many of them, we see them on Twitter every day.
Yes.
So that's the downside of it's a risk. The risk. But for large organization, you have stability. So in those early years that the organization might not have the visibility, you might just be a dot in the in the ocean of something in the sample. Okay. But you have that. But at some points, after it might take longer, but then you can also achieve all the same thing. My colleagues that joined Wando that stuck in Wando, that remain in Wando, their career was much slower, but I think they're also doing well. So, so large organizations, they might not learn a lot from them in your first few years, but that they have more security, more stability, and they also have they can also post you around. They also have that multiple experience across different fields. Okay, but in small organizations, you are laying your hands on different things. You are doing big projects. You are part of. You are the one doing all of that. You are the one doing things. You are probably in the team of 7, the team of 10 in the large organization, but it's only you that is doing it in small organization, and you learn faster. So it builds at the person. When the company is growing, you're also growing. As one of the earliest guys. So these are just where the pros and cons. There is no. If you are the guy that wants to go to that, my friend who is now a very, very big boy in share. I remember I saw a DB he said to me around that time when I joined one of the share, he was complaining that he wasn't doing much. He wasn't doing much. Now, he's a very, very top guy in share. So imagine at that time it was, just left because he wasn't doing much. So in those big organizations, in the early stage, you have some of those things because you are just, one, a dot in the circle of the whole truth. But after some time, you also integrate and find yourself having, a decent career.
Okay, so I understand what you said. So, but if as a young person, if you want to grow quickly in your career, what would you suggest? Would you suggest starting out from a small organization, having all the experience early, then moving to the big organizations when the opportunity arises?
I mean, I started from a big organization one though, and I moved to a smaller one at some point, and it's a smaller one I moved faster. Which I mean, some of those big organizations, they have their own advantage too. The fact that they are on your CV, you have a big company on your CV, you want exactly all those big exactly your CV, you may give some respect. Even some things like going to Japa, you are, that's that their brand name can also help you. Vista, that your group of matter, your visa applications, so you work in a reputable organization. So I mean, those advantages cannot be wished away. So I won't advise it. I won't say
one is better.
I would say one is better than that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So, exclusive to Market Lens, what's next for Suraj Oyewole?
I'm currently building Uka Property Hub, which so I started real estate as a developer, building and selling. And now, after my experience, my learning in the markets, I started another company with a Pan-African focus, which is a brokerage company, Africa Property Hub. So I'm really, I'm really doing everything possible to move that brokerage company to the next level. In the next 3 years, we are currently talking to people in Kenya, to real estate minders and enthusiasts and experts with Kenya, in Cameroon, and I want to have a continental outlook as well. So that property, so if a brokerage, so Jarus Homes is a development company. We build and sell property, but after property, we don't building and sell. Is connecting people together, and that's this big thing we are working on, and we hope that it becomes so one of the biggest. Our aim is to become one of the biggest property brokerage firms on the continent.
So the final question, right? And we'd like you to look into the camera to talk directly to the people, right? Right. So this one. If someone is feeling lost, if someone listening to this is feeling lost today, where is the first brick that they should lay in getting their lives, getting back on track and hopefully living up to a legacy like you have?
Okay, if you are feeling lost, the first thing you have to remember is that sometimes we overrate the challenges we have. And most of the people we see outside that appear to be doing well, they have to hold the challenges, and you sit down, take stock of what you might have done wrong. Maybe some decisions you've taken in the past, some steps you had taken in the past, which maybe led to where you are today. And so look forward. I mean, don't end your life. I mean, people have been. I've been in situations before which I've been talking smoothly like this as if I didn't have challenges. I had a lot of challenges myself. Some of them were really, life-threatening. But here I am today speaking about all of these things. And I mean, everybody would think I had it exactly smooth, exactly. So when you are listening to people like us in podcasts like this, I always remember that, we also, at some point, most of us were in your shoes. Why at that stage of feeling lost, and we got better, and we're here to tell the story as we are telling on this show. So one day you also come to tell the story. So please don't end it all, and believe that whatever, play to your strengths, whatever strength you have, play to it. Talk to people, and I'm sure that at some point, work hard. I mean, you can't wish away that. I'm sure that at some point you also come back to tell the story. And forget the little challenges or even the big ones that you faced along the line.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Suraj, for being here.
Thank you.
And there you have it. The blueprints, Mr. Suraj's story. Personally, it's one thing I've taken from this is begin with the end in mind. Have a vision of where you want to be. Do things now that make your life later easy. Do the hard things now, easy life later. Be kind to other people, help other people when you can, because when you are in need, other people could come to help you. And when you are trying to stand out to apply for jobs, say things that are out of the ordinary, and just see your cover letter. Think out of the box in life. And that's the point of the blueprints, to tell you how it is that you can get from where you are to where you want to be, and where the people that you look up to are right now. And please follow us on social media, comments. We want to know what you think about the interview, what you got from, Sir Jarus's life, and what even you are looking forward to. Follow us on our socials, Instagram, and YouTube. And as always, stay safe in the markets.